Hello. In this video, we're going to add just a little bit to part four. We got the laser to fire, but it's hard coded to where it's always going to fire from the middle of the screen. So it would be ideal to get it to fire from wherever the player actually is located. So instead of on this on key press space, adding the laser, instead of having the position being set uh, to these numbers, when we are at least using variables, um, it should be coming from the player itself. Now, when we pass in the pause component here, we could give it two numbers, like what we've been doing. We can also, there are some different versions here where I can give it what's called a vec2. So a vec2 is a type of data. We've talked about numbers and strings when you have text. Things could be whole objects. They could be um, uh, different kinds of numbers, actually booleans, just the true or false thing. A vec2 is kind of like a combination of x and y together. It's like the idea that a player just has a position if we didn't really care about the x and the y separately. Now it can do all kinds of things. It has all kinds of functions, but instead of giving it two different numbers for the x and the y separately, we could just give it the vec2, and that would be helpful because that's what player has. So we could say that the laser pause component should take in player dot pause. All right, this is a valid variable. The player does have a pause component to it, which that's when we checked to see whether we were still allowed to move or not. We said player dot pause, and then we specified x. But here we could just pass off the whole thing. So this should make it to where that the laser will fire from wherever the player is. So if we move over to the right, the laser fires from there. Move over to the left, it will always fire. And we could adjust that just a little bit, but it looks pretty good.